Are we ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, I will call the meeting to order at 11 o'clock then, and we'll do roll call and then some announcements.
Okay, can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Chair Margot Christensen,
Here?
Vice Chair Brassard, Member Tamara Burks,
Here.
Member Robert Coombs,
Here.
Member James Dawson, Member Dennis Gallagher,
Here.
Member Edward Kellerman,
Here.
Member Autumn Klein,
Here.
Member Nick Medina,
Here.
and Member Michael Pantaleone.
Here.
Did I say that right? Okay. Is that it?
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to announce that Councilman Jay Ruby is here with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're very busy, and we really appreciate your presence here today.
Glad to be here.
Please feel free to ask any questions along the way or after the meeting.
Sweet.
Thank you. Okay, discussion and action items. Approval of the minutes for the October 8th, 2025 Tourism Advisory Committee meeting. If everyone's had a chance to look through those, does anybody have any comments or questions or edits to those minutes? If I could get a motion to approve
So moved.
and a second? Second from Dennis. Any further discussion items? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes to approve the minutes. Thank you. Now we've got a discussion regarding special events funding policy. And John, will you be doing that?
I will open it up and I'm going to hand it over to our Deputy City Manager, Michael Morris. And just for your reference, all you have to do is hit the right arrow. So it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. So in my brief time, I've been here about a year. So we noticed going through the event process, we had a lot of requests for events. And so we wanted to develop a policy for funding events that gives some structure to it and then also makes it simple and easy for everyone to understand. So this is our attempt at that. So we want to bring it today to you for your input before we take it to City Council, most likely next month. And so I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what we've put together and take some feedback from you if you so desire. So as I said, the purpose was really to create a process and to make it straightforward and easy for everyone to understand, and that things are coordinated and there's structure to it so that we're treating people equally, fairly, the same way every time. So based on this, we developed tiers of events based on, basically on attendance. Large tier A are 5,000 events and above, and then tier B would be that 500 to 5,000. And then C are small events that have minimal impact, but still nonetheless are done in our community. So based on this, most of our funding, as we're going to talk about, is in Tier A and Tier B, because generally Tier C does not need funding from the city. So there's 3 categories we've developed, and so we're going to talk about each of these individually. Just for an overview, though, there are city events that are funded through the city's general fund. There's the large events that are what we're going to call city marketing sponsorship opportunities, and then we have the events that you've done for many years through your normal TAC grants. So we're going to start with the city events. We noticed a few months ago that there are some city events that were actually being paid for with tourism dollars, and so we really need to put those into the general fund. And so 4th of July now has been put into the general fund as opposed to tourism dollars. And so those types of events, the 4th of July and the Veterans Parade are 2 examples of that. But those are really community events. They're really for the community, the local community. And so they should be general fund spent as opposed to tourism dollars. And so We've made that change, and we'll do that going forward. But one that has been, that's needed some work has been this sponsorship. We have some large events who've had their own arrangements, I'll say it that way. And so how do we put those into a process of some kind? And so this is where we focus most of this policy, is really on these marketing, what we're going to call marketing sponsorship opportunities. These are large events. They really build the city's brand. And so how do we take advantage of these, and then how do we support these in a way that makes sense? And so most of our effort has really been in this area to try to develop a policy. So these are all nonprofit or non-city organizations. So what we've come to is we'd like those who are in this category to generate at least $100,000 in either tourism or sales tax in order to qualify. So these are going to be large events. You're talking about thousands of people who generate millions of dollars in economic impact. And so what we're saying is we'd like them to have at least 5,000 visitors from outside the community. And outside we defined through tourism as more than 90 miles away. And then have a marketing reach of at least 1 million impressions. So we want 1 million impressions to build our brand. So we want Prescott to be out there 1 million times for your event, so that people understand what Prescott is, what we're about, and represent us. And so the three that would be in this category as of right now would be the events of Christmas City, the Whiskey Off-Road event, and the rodeo. And so those three were really the three that meet this criteria. So then, how will we do this? So our thought is that this policy would say we would give back to these events 50% of the taxes they generate. So if you're generating at least $100,000 in taxes, then you would get at least 50% of that. You'd get 50% of that back, up to a max of $80,000. However, we need to determine if you are generating those dollars. And so how do we do that? So we've gone to each one and said you would have to go with us, partner with us, to do an economic impact study that's done by a reputable third party. In this case, we're going to use Arizona State University to do an economic impact study on those three particular events to determine what is the economic impact and what are the taxes generated. So based on that, we will then develop from there what's 50% of that value. And then we will do contracts with those three that represent that value. So those contracts will have to be approved by council. More than likely, right now, we're looking at probably a 5-year agreement that would require another economic impact study to be done in the 4th year, so that when we renegotiate, we know what the taxes generated would be to renegotiate that contract. So, and then we'll require, as we do now, an event report from them, but the economic impact study is really that primary report. It'll tell us the economic impact and the taxes generated. So based on these three events that we've talked about, what does that mean? Right now you'll see in black what they currently receive from the city, and then in red is what is the likely impact to those three events. So Christmas City currently receives $65,000 plus up to $40,000 in-kind services. And so just based on what we know now, we will do an economic impact study that will completely determine this. But just from previous information they've supplied, it would look like they would probably get an increase of somewhere in the $12,000 to $15,000 range. Whiskey Off-Road would, based on the information they've given us in the past, it's probably going to be about the same as they are right now. And then the rodeo currently receives $40,000, and more than likely, based on information they've presented in the past, is going to get an increase somewhere in that $15,000 to $20,000 range. So this will help us. The idea here is to scale them proportionally based on the taxes they generate. And so that's what this should do. And that's the whole intent of this. So this you're very familiar with, and it will not change. So all other events will come through TAC as they have in the past and ask for grant funding. And you're very familiar with this program, so I won't go through all the pieces of it. But we see this now as a very well-structured tier of events, those who deserve marketing or brand sponsorship, and then those who need help getting their event going through the grant process. And we think it really gives good structure to our events. So some things that are required of all events that will not change. They all must go through the event permit process that's stated in code and goes through the Recreation Services Department. They all have contracts. You do contracts for the grants now. We will do contracts for those sponsorship, marketing sponsorship organizations as well. They all do reporting of some kind. The three, we've now added an additional layer of reporting, which is that economic impact study. And then all will be evaluated. And so while we've kind of done evaluation in the past, we haven't, especially on the three larger ones, we haven't done probably the evaluation we need to do. I believe you guys in the grants do evaluate fairly well from one year to the next, each event. So congratulations and thank you for that. But we need to do a little better on those other three, and that's what the intent of this is. So those will not change. Those are current, and we anticipate they will go forward. So with that, I will stop and see if you have questions, comments, thoughts. I have just put the next steps, as I just said earlier. It will go to City Council, more than likely next month, and then we'll begin those economic impact studies and then implementing this process. So glad to take any questions.
Thank you very much. I love this. What questions do you guys have? We'll start on this side.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. The grant that's given to them, is it supposed to be spent on marketing, or what exactly are the funds for?
Yes, by tourism, the definition of tourism funds and how they must be spent, that'll have to be met just as it is now. So yes, it will have to be based on marketing because all tourism dollars by state law have to be spent towards marketing. So that's correct. So they have to demonstrate that they have spent at least that much in marketing dollars. And that'll be part of that report process.
Okay. Autumn, Ed, Councilman.
Can you go to the microphone? We're doing the live stream. Yes.
Hello, thank you. There was a slide two back. Yeah, I just wanted some clarification around Christmas City has plus 40,000 in kind, then it's equals 40,000 in kind, and the rodeo doesn't have any in kind. Can you clarify that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that equal should be a plus. That's a typo. So yeah, that's actually should be a plus. And the rodeo receives, we have a lease agreement with them, so they receive in kind, but we really don't define it, and we'll be revising that lease agreement. Okay. So it's kind of separate, if you will.
Okay. So
the in-kind portion.
The in-kind contribution isn't counted.
Yeah, we give the in-kind to the rodeo, and so it's just not well defined, I guess is the way to say that. So we have to define that.
Okay.
And which City Council will be doing with their lease agreement.
Could you describe what those in-kind contributions look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Christmas City and Whiskey Off-Road, most of that relates to street closures downtown, police, solid waste. So it's generally those city services that we're supplying at no cost to those events.
So like the regular fee is waived for them?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Autumn?
I think I have two questions. One was similar to Nick's, the accounting for the their report shows exactly how they do spend their money, and it's specified how it needs to be spent.
Yes, they'll have to supply a report for the state-by-state law. That money can only be spent on marketing, so they'll have to demonstrate that they have spent at least that amount on marketing in order to. And if they don't, then that's part of the evaluation to say, okay, you didn't, so that will affect your next year.
My other question is just that the off-road is like a 3-day event, the rodeo is a week. And
Christmas
does the
is a month.
off-road really bring in more than the rodeo?
Well, actually, that's why you'll see here we're trying to scale them appropriately. In the past, the Whiskey Off-Road has gotten more tourism dollars than the other two, and the other two actually do generate more economic impact. So this really is going to to balance this out a little better than it has been in the past.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Ed, do you have anything?
I'm just curious again about what makes an event. You described like reach 1 million impressions, and also, is there any other reasons those are city marketing sponsorship events?
Yeah, let me go back to that. So here we go. And one is they need to generate that, at least $100,000 in tax dollars, which is a big one. They need to have 5,000 or more visitors to the city, and then the $1 million or 1 million impressions. So those are the three primary criteria to get to this. And right now, those are the only three that we're aware of that meet that criteria.
And does the city verify these numbers?
Yes. Yes. In fact, we'll require it as part of the report to demonstrate how they got that 1 million impressions.
And that was part of one of my questions is 1 million impressions, print and digital, and they have to kind of prove both of those.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Where does the summer concert series fall in this?
That's a great question. Where does it? I don't know. I'm going to have to phone a friend on that one.
So that's a very good question. The Summer Concert Series does receive bed tax dollars through a contract that goes back to about 2013. The city used to run the special events. We had a special events manager. And then when that position went away, there was an agreement made that the city would continue to do the special event of the summer concert. So it's a contract. I would call it maybe grandfathered in, if you will. I don't think it would qualify for anything that we need for a top 3 event. It is a $75,000 cost to the bed tax budget. But we see that, if we look at the big picture of tourism, we're also here to create quality of life for our residents as well as visitors. So I kind of put it in that bucket. But that's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take a more closer look at that one as well. Yep.
Okay, just a couple little questions. This is just a technicality or maybe an edit. On the page that says TAC grants for events, looks like there's a typo. It probably needs to be grants range from 1,000 to 5,000, so that might just be a
yes.
small error
Missing a
to
zero.
correct in the future.
Thank you.
Regarding the post-event report, if funds come out of bed tax, could we have an opportunity as TAC board members to see post-event reports at some point in time?
Yeah, I would think so. Sure.
It would come through staff.
Yep. I think that's the only questions I had.
Great.
Anyone else? Okay.
Yeah. I
Thank you.
promised, I know Mr. Dawson is absent, Jim Dawson, but he did review this and he did want me to, this will be put into the public record, but his comment is that he endorses this, recommended it for approval by the city council. So he fully supports it. He thinks it's aligned with everything we're trying to do. So just sharing that verbally, but we'll put it in the minutes as well.
Yeah, I suppose the last item I will say is if you are supportive of it, if you feel you want to make a formal recommendation for us to go to city council next month, then feel free to do that as well.
So today we have no formal action, but a future meeting, we might have a formal action. Is that correct, John?
Yeah, just the way we set up the agendas, this item falls in no formal action, but we certainly can, by consensus and by your comments, take direction. And if, when it goes to council, we can share that. And you're certainly welcome to come to the council meeting and speak in favor of it if you want as well. So don't have to take necessarily, sorry about that. Don't have to take a vote, but it sounds like we see some consensus, a lot of heads and
It
nods.
sounds like we're in full
So
agreement.
we can take
on
that in
this.
confidence to council.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is transient bed tax updates and possible budget discussion, maybe.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Mike Kelly, a tourism manager. We put together a snapshot of the mid-year bed tax budget. You can refer to your packets. Just wanted to key in on a couple numbers so you all can understand it well. Our budget for FY 2026 on the back, $1,589,566. Next to that would be the amount remaining, $758,199. And we're right about 52% spend of that budget, which is right on par for the halfway point. And I know we had a couple other questions, Margot. That first line item on the front page, the NA, tourism, just under tourism expenditures. That NA is like a blank or no profit code through finance, and that includes all salaries, medical, office equipment, things like that have nothing to do with like all contracts or anything like that. So, and then if you guys had any other questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, John can get more detailed on that. But we did this midway point, and we'll do it again at the end of the year for all of you. The fund balance. Finance let me know, Margot, that right now it's on the low end. It's right about $373,610, and it could be as high as right about $520,000, and that has to do with the lag of sales tax, about a month off. So it could be as high as $520,000. If anybody had any other questions on those.
I have one on the Christmas and Visitor Center support. Is that I see that's in 2. Is that for Arizona Christmas City?
Christmas.
It's kind of down towards the bottom.
Yes, it is.
So it's for both.
Yes. And if you guys are all right with this format, if everything is, explained well, we can keep it as is. But if you have any suggestions on how to make it better, please let us know.
So just to clarify, the fund balance is roughly $373,000.
610, yes.
Okay, so by the time we get to the end of the fiscal year, I never know the answer to this. Will the fund balance be rolled over to the next fiscal year as emergency savings, contingency? How does that work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fund balance does.
Fund balance, yes.
And we still have some discussion over utility bills for Charlotte Hall. I think we've kind of talked about that in the past.
Yes, we have.
Is that something that we can talk about again in the future as to whether that
Yes,
is appropriate
we
out of
absolutely
bed
can.
tax, or is that general fund?
Always had that discussion. You can bring it up at a future meeting.
Yep, we can bring it up at a future.
Future,
meeting, absolutely.
yeah, not today, future. Okay. And downtown beautification, that allocation went away. That got canceled. Is that correct?
Yeah, you see it came out of the budgeted contingencies. You see that, the 59,000 came out of the 64,500.
Yeah, I'd like to clarify
Yeah.
a comment on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for asking about the downtown beautification. The good news is the program will not go away. The way we have structured our budget now is we do want bed tax to continue to support that when the budget permits. We basically ran out of our money December 31st, but in a cooperative fashion, our Public Works Department, one of the enterprise funds through Public Works is going to cover the next 6 months to get us through the end of the fiscal year. So it is continuing. And then what we're going to try to do for the budget for FY 27 is add that back into the tourism budget. So the program's not stopping, is the message.
Thanks for clarifying. Any more questions on the budget? Do you have any comments, Lois? No? Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay, we are at staff announcements. And also, John, is this a good time to introduce Trish, your new team member?
Yes, I think this is a perfect time to do that. So happy to introduce Trish in a new role. Many of you already know her. Trish Lewis joined us as our Economic Development Manager. Comes to us from the city of Cottonwood, where she was the guru of tourism and economic development. So she's really a great addition to our team. Really so happy to have her. She just started December 1st, right around that time, and hitting the ground running. So happy to have her on the team.
Welcome.
Nice to have you, Trish. And I'll send a personal note to everyone. I have known Trish for a long, long time, and she's just great. So happy to have you. Okay, so staff announcements, starting with Arlie and marketing.
I have website and social media analytics for you guys, and then I also have Heather Herman's Front Burner Media update. So we'll start with all the crazy numbers. So looking at the December Experience Prescott website analytics, our number of active users was 36,000, which the previous report was, I believe, 16,000. So that's a great improvement. Again, the event count was just under 400,000 conversions, which was up significantly from the previous month, of course, due to Arizona's Christmas City and everything involving the holidays. 22,000 of our users are coming organically, 8,000 direct, and about 1,500 are coming through referrals. Our top campaigns are Google ads, Facebook paid ads, the City of Prescott website, AOT Co-op, and Sparklight advertising. Our top users by country outside of the US are China with 3.9 thousand, Singapore with 1.6 thousand, and Germany with 206 users last month. Consistently, January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, we watched 5 cities, and just kind of we're tracking those specifically. So starting with Phoenix, we had 59,000 users last year. Los Angeles, 8,000. Las Vegas, 3,000. Tucson, 1.4 thousand. And Denver, 5.3 thousand users last year. And then our current top 10 cities are Phoenix, Lansau, which is not in the US, I'm not sure where that is, Prescott, Denver, Los Angeles, Singapore, not set, so there's no clear location, Tempe, Mesa, and Prescott Valley. So primarily within Arizona, but also branching out to some of the closer states. And then this year, in December, there was a bit of a change up from events being our most viewed page. Last month was things to do with 15,000 viewers. And normally events leads with about 4,000 viewers. So this jumped huge, again, related to Arizona's Christmas City and all the holidays. Going into social media analytics, the Experience Prescott Instagram is up to 15.8 thousand followers, which was up about 675 from the previous month. Our post views are up 232,000 last month, totaling in about 647,000 post views in December, with our top posts being the 12 Days of Christmas giveaways, and our top reel being a Christmas in Prescott Holiday Light Parade promotion, which is right on par with how everything else has been reporting. We got just over 1,000 new followers through Facebook and over 2 million views through our page and content, which is incredible. Pinterest continues to grow with 10.7 thousand impressions last month. And our total watch time through YouTube Shorts was 407.2 hours. Through individual highlights and compilation posts, we were able to feature over 35 businesses last month. And just to kind of reiterate, like, a lot of these impressions were due to Arizona's Christmas City, but that puts us on a good trajectory going into 2026. People are following and watching what we're doing. And a lot of the visitors are trending to leaning more into like travel planning. So a lot more saves and shares on our posts, which is great from an analytics standpoint and boosting our rankings in the algorithm and everything. So very impressive work by the Bright team in December. Do you guys have any numbers questions?
That is all great, Arlie. Thank you.
And
Very
I'll-
impressive.
Thank you. I'll provide all of these numbers for you guys to look at, just a little slower read through so it's not a bunch of numbers getting yelled at you. And then diving into Heather's report.
I think we have a question. Councilman?
I was very curious. China and Singapore, like, is there any understanding of why we have so many like hits or follows from those places?
I'm not sure. No, I don't know. I know it's been expressed to us that Germany is very, very into the cowboy and Western industry, so that kind of helps explain Germany. But as far as China and Singapore, it's normally not that large of a following from them. So that was new this month.
It could be a trickle-down effect from Arizona Office of Tourism for something that they're doing. You know, they tend to bring in a lot of international guests, but it's kind of hard to track why they would come here. It could have been a specific group or something like that from China or Singapore. We just don't know.
We've had a lot of visitors from China in the last year due to Phoenix, with the chip plant in the Phoenix area coming up, so they spent some time with us up here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so now looking into Front Burner Media and Heather's report. So starting with the AOT co-op, she's doing a majority of managing the co-op program for us, which has been amazing. We had a meeting in December to discuss the choices and assistance needed in managing, submitting content, and making sure digital selections have been pixeled to manage and track reporting with Datafy. And so yeah, we've gotten started with that. Unique opportunities. She has representation, outreach, and additional opportunities researched and presented to the team for consideration, including opportunities to partner and offset costs through working with Experience Williams representation across U.S. and internationally. And then the AAA travel show in Pittsburgh, by partnering with Front Burner Media, travel costs and registration with in-person presentation time have been offset to keep Prescott under budget. Full AAA agent list will be shared with the Prescott team. And then diving into media outreach, managing queries for social media influencers, media and journalist opportunities for the destination. She has it broken down into a few. So starting with Bill Cleven, Bill on the road, financially not an option in 25-26, revisit in 26-27. Bryce Skerbach, pivot cycles, again, financially not an option in 25-26. We'll revisit again next fiscal year. Ryan Ferris, CW7, pitching Arizona's Christmas City for possible morning mix. Alexandra Cheney, AFAR Holiday Lights in Every State pitch. Jane Anderson, Prima Companion, Holiday Events in the U.S. pitch. And Clementine Koa Alfana, Travel with Clem, new and to discover trail options in the U.S. for 2026. And then finally, ongoing opportunities to showcase the destination while leveraging investment, making best marketing decisions using technology to reach visitors wherever they are is what she's currently working on. So is there any questions with this? Okay.
Thank you, Arlie.
Yeah, we're geeking out on numbers over here. There's so much, but it's good because every time we do a digital ad, it gives us a number and it tells us where it's coming from. Sometimes we don't know the whys, but we'll dig into that for sure. But the other thing, and Matt is not here, he's sick today, unfortunately, but the Whiskey Row boot drop for the second year in a row was covered by CNN. And if anyone has ever seen the Anderson Cooper show, they sign off at midnight pretty much after New York drops their ball, but CNN continues the coverage. And so they go to the different time zones throughout the country, all the way to Los Angeles. So for the second year in a row, they've sent a team up here to cover the Whiskey Row boot drop. And they, the producer met with Matt and the Chamber of Commerce ahead of time, but afterwards, they let us know that the ratings for that late night show that we were part of is the highest that it's been in 10 years for CNN. So we were right there, up there with Austin, Texas, and then Prescott, and then Los Angeles. So the ratings are going way up. We have asked them for numbers because television ratings are a little different. You can't get, it doesn't equate to an impression in our modern terminology, but we're trying to get those numbers. But we think we're in multi-millions of people, so very exciting stuff. Just wanted to let everybody know that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Arlie. Okay, next is Mike with airport, and then Mike again with board positions.
All right. Airport report from Christina Stapleton. Airport activity. On October 26, 2025, SkyWest Airlines announced, in partnership with the City of Prescott, the addition of a third daily flight frequency. This new flight will operate as an evening departure to Denver, further strengthening Prescott's connectivity to a major hub airport. In addition, SkyWest adjusted the Los Angeles flight schedule, moving it earlier in the day to enhance domestic and international connectivity. This schedule change has improved the airline's appeal to business travelers and increased utilization of the LA route by offering more convenient departures and arrival times. Early performance metrics are very strong. The Los Angeles flight is currently operating at a 72.7% load factor, up from 61.3% under the previous schedule. The Denver route, including the new frequency, is showing a 60.6% load factor with its first month and a half of operation. These results position the airport well heading into the new year, as both the airport and the city continue to promote business travel and regional connectivity. Total aircraft enplanements for calendar year 2025 was 26,454, which is up 4.5% from last calendar year. And out in operations, total operations from January to November 2025 is at 362,631, which is an 8.3% increase from January to November of last year. Airport announcements, runway 21L, 3R, shift and extension. At the September 23rd study session, City Council endorsed the proposed runway 21L 3R shift based on improvements to one engine inoperative OEI splays, noise impacts to surrounding neighborhoods, and opportunities to improve overall airfield geometry. The FAA is expected to provide final feedback of the submitted forecast and benefit cost analysis inputs in January 2026, after which the benefit cost analysis can be completed and the environmental assessment initiative. A shifted and extended primary runway would significantly enhance opportunities for expanded commercial air service and improve operational capability for U.S. Forest Service firefighter aircraft. The Northeast Ramp development update, the city has received $3.5 million in state funding for the development of new public aircraft parking ramp on the northeast side of the airfield. The project also includes the development of adjacent pad sites for rotary wing operations, maintenance, repair, and overall MRO, innovation, and other specialized aeronautical uses. Dibble Engineering has been selected to lead this design effort. And the grant application for the airport terminal program. The airport has submitted an airport terminal program grant application for terminal modifications, utility extensions, and the installation of one passenger board bridge. The project is intended to improve accessibility, enhance safety, and improve the overall family travel experience. If awarded, the grant would support a modest terminal expansion, including the addition of a vestibule and the passenger boarding bridge, and cost result in $3.8 million in federal investment, and could result in $3.8 million in federal investment. And that is the airport report.
Thank you, Mike. And now you are going to be talking about board positions and deadlines and all that.
Yes, we have 5 vacancies coming up in March. Margot's seat, Matt's seat, Ed, Nick Medina, and Michael, our newest. Let's see, so the new terms will be from April of 26 to March of 29. The application due date is January 30th of this year at 5 p.m. If you go to the city website and go to the boards and commission page and scroll down to the advisory groups, boards, commissions, and committee vacancies, you'll see TAC right at the bottom there, and right from there is the application to apply. We'd love to have you all back. I also, when it comes to chair seats, I've got a direct message from City Clerk. It says they are currently updating the forming documents that would allow for the committee to select their own chair and vice chair and/or secretary. Currently, the council does this at the same time they appoint new members, but in February, we should have that figured out. It would be so much easier if we can just, assign who's going to be our chair and vice chair. So City Clerk will be coming out with that next month.
Is that the same procedure for all boards and commissions? Are they transitioning to that procedure?
You know what? That's a great question, Margot. I will find out on that if it's just for ours
Yeah,
or
I was just
I would
curious,
think it
yeah.
might be for all boards and chairs. But that's a great question. I will
Okay.
ask City Clerk.
Yeah, just
on
curious.
that.
And this might be a good time for me to say that it's been a good run and a long run for me as board chair. This is going on 9 years, and I'm ready to pass the torch and would really absolutely love it if one of you would step up to the plate. And I think that's in the online process. I believe you can select a box or a field that says you're interested in board chair. And I would really love it if someone would do that. And I talked to John a couple months ago, and I would make the commitment to whoever steps up as board chair. I would be absolutely happy to help for 1 year. I would make a commitment for a full year to assist with STAR reports and sales tax reports and agenda items if you would like that help. If you don't want that help, that's fine. But I would commit a full year to help along the way for that first year. So just wanted to let you know that, and please feel free to check that box on the application. So thank you.
Thank you, Margo. Let's see. I think we can get right into liaison updates.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted just kind of the dates for the new TAG grant cycle. Grant applications open Sunday, March 1st of this year. and they will close Friday, April 3rd at 5 p.m. So that's the application date for this coming FY27 TAC grant. Thursday, March 5th will be an optional grant meeting at 3 p.m. at New City Hall here. Let's see, and award letters will be sent out in June, and grant approval for City Council in July of this year. So it's that one. Let's see, a couple other updates. For tourism, we're steadily working on Route 66, the 100-year Route 66 celebration. We're kind of in the final discussions for 21st Century Club to kind of kick off that celebration and host. They're looking at tentatively October 16th through the 18th. That's pretty much a firm date. They are working on their application with the county for that. They have a little more follow-up to do, but Charles and the 21st Century are leading that. Of course, the Vet Set Corvette Club, the Prescott Antique Auto Club are all coming together on that, so it's going to be a really good time there. America 250, and it's fast and furious with America 250 right now. We're getting ready for the statehood day, like Saturday, February 14th and 15th, of having the Liberty Bell here. So Laura Tarek, our state representative, is going to give the media kind of an official kickoff next week to confirm. So, but right now we're planning for the 14th, having the Liberty Bell here for the 14th and 15th. So that's going to be really exciting, and we'll give you guys a lot more details coming up on that. Just a couple of the meetings that are going to come up with that. We'll have a logistics meeting Friday, January 23rd at 10 a.m. And then the next full America 250 meeting will be Monday, February 9th, and that's going to be at Charlotte Hall. The group is getting really large. It's kind of outgrown our executive conference room here. So stay tuned for that. A lot of exciting stuff. And then I'll take that right into some sales numbers. Got some exciting events coming up, groups that were booked. The Arizona building officials, their annual business meeting conference is going to be here this year in July. And not only is it going to be here this year, but we've signed on for 3 years after that. First time that's happened, usually they've bounced around to a lot of locations throughout Arizona, but we're very happy to have them contracted for 3 years. So, that's an event that, can be, 525 plus rooms. So really looking forward to that. Also with Arizona building officials, they're gonna bring the Spring Institute Conference here in April. And that as well is gonna be signed for 3 years as well. So that's like 450 plus rooms. So very excited about that. Working on, and we're also gonna have walkthroughs with ABO at the end of this month. So they're going to come to town and see, all the variety of, entertainment and conference space that we have. So looking forward to that. Still working on a pickleball power play event at Eastspire for this year. Hopefully we can get that kind of confirmed in the next couple months. We also have a great RFP for an annual convention for specific auto manufacturer. Can't say the auto manufacturer name, but we're really looking to have that in 2027. It's 650 plus rooms. So, and we'd be at multiple locations. So working hard on that one too. Hopefully we'll have some updates going forward there. And also I handed out to you guys a new kind of like a numbers dashboard snapshot. We have a new platform called Datify that also incorporates our STR and CoStar numbers. The numbers that I've been giving you guys as far, ADR, occupancy, supply and revenue. I have those all down for you there. I also, we've added for the month of November, up to the month of November, total trips here to the area, visitor days, average length of stay, total spend and spend per trip, and average transaction size. So this is kind of like an introduction. I can change this, however you guys like. If you like to see more or less, just please let me know. But we just wanted to start off by introducing it to, an easier way for you guys to see every time we meet. So just let me know if you want to add anything or, subtract anything. And they're about a 6-week kind of lag time. So next month, I'll have the entire past year for you guys too. So they're up till November. So we needed about another week or so to, get the full year, the full calendar year. But next time I'll have that all updated for you guys. So just, you can give me your feedback after you, kind of look this over and, just let me know how we can make it better for you guys.
Mike,
Yes.
what activities are planned for Liberty Bell weekend, or is that still to be determined?
That's to be determined, and they're going to come fast. So, the city is getting together and coordinating that. So, stay tuned on that. We will give you, updates as they come. It's going to be a lot that whole weekend. It's going to be great. And that is
Okay.
everything from me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And now we will hop back to council liaison updates from Councilwoman Lois.
I got upgraded. I don't know. I didn't get any more money, so we'll see. But so now as Mayor Pro Tem, I wanted to I got some new responsibilities, one of which I am going to be on the council subcommittee for the board, commission, and committee staffing. So you have friends now on the inside. The other thing that we have begun doing with the role is we started last month, and I'll be taping it later this week, but we're trying to take, so you don't have to sit through yesterday, 1 p.m. to almost 7 p.m. worth of council meetings, and somehow to distill that down to under 20 minutes of a video to come out by the end of the week that's called In Case You Missed It. And I won't be able to do everything that happened at the meeting, but mainly to hit the highlights of that. And we launched it last month, and that was very well received. Coming up, the big news is we are hosting this Thursday at the Sam Hill Warehouse our first city-sponsored State of the City address. We actually have a lot of invites out to members of the public to also participate. We only had so many seats, but we have a mix of people attending, and that will be Mayor Roosing, the council, and city leadership giving update on where we are versus the strategic plan. And so that will be exciting. If you want to see that and you can't make it live anymore because we filled all the seats, there will be a live telecast happening Thursday starting at 8:30, both on the City of Prescott YouTube channel and also on the Facebook Live. So you can sit in your office and see what's going on there. Of course, we're going to continue to have the participation in the chamber State of the City address will be part of the Chambers event that's also happening on the 22nd at the Elks. So we'll have a couple of updates going on there. Next week, the council and city leadership is going off-site. The purpose of that is also to check in on where are we on the strategic plan and what adjustments with a new council, with more history under our belt, if there'll be any adjustments coming out of that. So more to come as that evolves. But right now, I would say TAC and tourism plays very heavily in our second strategic plank, which is all about economic development. So in fact, there's a measure and a goal associated with increasing tourism over the 5-year here in terms of tax revenue. So that's what I have. I did have a question because I apologize for being a few minutes late. Are we having an offsite next? The annual tourism meeting, is that happening next Thursday? I had to save the date from our December celebration.
So we are going to do a tourism annual meeting, and it will be offsite at the Grace Sparks Center, but it's March 12th.
Okay, so we
I don't
can
know.
release
Yeah,
anyone
you
who
can-
had that on
yeah,
their
if you had it on
calendar
your
for
calendar.
January.
Apologize for confusion.
Nope.
We did have that very early on.
Perfect.
Yes, March
Thank you.
12th is the date.
Any questions? Very good. Thanks.
Thank you, and I apologize for misspeaking, Mayor Pro Tem. You have a new role and a promotion, and I have to get used to that, so I apologize.
Answering to Councilwoman too.
Okay, and I think grants, John, are you next on that? Or do you have anything on that?
No, but I do have something. Open space. Oh, yes. Actually, I do have an update on that, and it's relevant with Councilmember Ruby here. But I was going to provide an update. There was one TAC grant that we haven't been able to distribute. We've been able to get them all out. Arlie has been very diligent. For those that haven't invoiced us, she's been making sure they've invoiced us. We've got all the TAC grants done. The last one, and it's for the Carpetbagger Brigade event. So we went around, as my wife likes to say, we went around the mountain a few times, but we finally got it figured out to be able to get them and release that check as well to Carpetbagger Brigade. So that's in process right now. And once that's done, we will be 100% paid in all of our TAC grants. So I just want to make sure that you know that. Just in time for us to start the new process in March, but that's how long it takes. So it's a year-long process, so we appreciate that. And since I'm up here and I have the microphone as well, I did not sign up for a staff report or update, but one thing I do want to mention, going back to Tricia, is a big part of economic development is what everyone in the industry calls BRE, business retention. What does it really mean? It means creating a relationship, meeting with businesses, getting out there, hearing from them, getting feedback. You might recall that we initiated back in November a business survey online. That went reasonably well. We didn't get as many responses as we'd hoped. So Tricia's hitting the streets. She's actually going around and talking to businesses. She's done a great job over the holidays going around downtown. We've got lots of feedback from the downtown merchants, but more to come. But we're also going to get out to the air park, and we're going to talk to other businesses that impact our economic development. Why does this matter? Because about 75% of a city's economic development activity happens from existing businesses. So when April says, hey, I'm going to double the size of my store and add 10 more employees, that's economic development. Okay, everyone talks about bringing the new businesses in. We absolutely are all about recruitment as well, but BRE, business retention, is a huge part of what we're doing. Tricia's really doing a great job. So she's kind of refreshed the survey that we did in November, and she's taking it to people. You can fill it out right in front of her if you want, or we can send you a link, but we're just getting out there. So if you hear from Tricia in any of your businesses, that's what she's about. So just wanted to let you know that as well.
Hey, thank you, John. All right, Ryan, Rec Services.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see everybody again. So I just wanted to update you. We finalized our 2026 calendar for sporting events. We have 23 tournaments scheduled throughout spring and the fall. So it's a few more than last year. We're really looking forward to it. We've got some new events and tournaments coming into town, so it should be really nice. We've also got a couple scheduled outside of our normal time frame. So we have one coming up in February. We have another one that's scheduled in October. It's actually a fundraising tournament with one of our youth organizations. It's going to fundraise for the Softball Hall of Fame. So it should be a great event. Our Softball Hall of Fame is currently housed at the Grace Sparks Activity Center. It's a really cool exhibit if nobody's ever seen it. If you want to stop by and see it, it's a really great piece of history over there. So we're really excited. We've got some new tournaments as well. We have a 5-versus-5 soccer tournament we're hoping goes this year. We also have a youth inline hockey tournament that's going to take place. So we're really excited about that. That's really about it. I can tell you last year, based on the crunch of the numbers and the formula we had, we did about $5 million in estimated economic impact for 2025. So we're looking to do better this year, and we're really excited to get the ball rolling. So,
Is Trans Rockies on that list?
the bigger events like Trans Rockies, Whiskey Off-Road, they're kind of kept in a separate economic impact report. So that is, yeah, and that's not going to be on my calendar of events. These are more like our one-off smaller races combined with all my sports tournaments that I organize and bring in. So, any questions?
Questions?
Where can we find your calendar of events?
Great question. I've got a hard copy for you, Autumn. It's also on our city website. So if you go there and go to Rec Services and find the sports programs page, you'll be able to find a link to it on there. Yeah.
John, is that something that you can actually distribute to stakeholders? Okay, that'd be very helpful. Hotels, restaurants, businesses, anybody on your list, that'd be helpful.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Ryan. Okay, time for committee updates. Michael, would you like to start and give us any update on your business or travel plans or how your Christmas was or anything?
I'm a simple citizen, so I have no personal updates, but if you don't mind, if this is inappropriate, stop me. I do have a question as far as can we develop maybe in the future some discussions about signage, meaning to provide information, to provide city branding and to increase activities and sales and so forth. What I'm looking at and what I'm visualizing right now is at the 5 major entrances into the city of Prescott, for example, starting with perhaps a 5-year plan, the first year being a sign on Highway 69 as you enter the town. And again, it looks like you're ready to stop me. You're welcome to any time, but
We can't discuss it because it's not an agenda item,
Okay.
but we can definitely take your idea as a future agenda item. So I would recommend sending an email to John and Arlie with your thoughts on this, and then we can add it to next month or the month later.
so my apologies being
No,
I'm not quite sure.
Totally
but-
fine. We like to have future agenda items, ideas. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's a good idea. Tamara.
Hello. Can't believe it's already January 15th, so we're already halfway into the first month of the year. As she mentioned earlier, we are hosting the City of Prescott on Thursday at Sam Hill Warehouse, so we're looking forward to that event and seeing how it goes for our mayor to host everybody for that breakfast. So we've got that coming up, and then we also have the Bridal Expo, the Prescott Bridal Expo, coming up the first Sunday of March, so that'll be here before we know it as well. Big one, super popular, partnering with Starstruck Events. So if you know anybody getting married, I know Arlie, you recently got married, congratulations. But pass it along to come by that event as well. Otherwise, we don't really have much going on. Kind of enjoying the quiet January for the moment before we ramp up. So.
Thank you, Tamara. Dennis?
Yes, excuse me, I lost my voice. February 1st, we've got our scholarship recipient reception. This year, we've got 6 really outstanding students, and this will be held at the St. Michael Hotel in the lobby bar, and it's going to be converted for this reception. Tickets are on sale on our website and on at the center, and this is going to be, I think we're looking at 100 people. Obviously, the scholarship recipients and their parents are free. Tickets are $50 otherwise for food and so forth. Anyway, Trisha's son is one of the recipients. So anyway, like every year, these kids are phenomenal. And this year we actually have a 18-year-old filmmaker, and he's had films at the film festival last year, and I think he's doing something at Sedona Film Festival or somewhere else recently. But I think 3 of the students are FFA, 2 rodeo, and a filmmaker, and each recipient receives $2,000.
That's great. Thanks, Dennis. Robert?
Well, I wanted to welcome Tricia Lewis to the City of Prescott team and the tourism team as well. And Margot, I don't know, the TAC committee wouldn't be the TAC committee without you. I think you're going to have to be in the audience at least. So thank you for all your work. We really appreciate that. We're coming up. We're still in the midst of Arizona's Christmas City. The lights will be on, just so everybody knows. The last night will be the 18th. They come down on the 19th on Martin Luther King Day, the holiday. So get down there and take a peek at it. We've had a great season. Our parade was tremendous. Numbers will be coming out on that. Courthouse lighting, of course, was tremendous, and with CNN covering our boot drop, that just really puts it out of the park, I think. We sold out of the Arizona Christmas City wooden ornaments for the second year. This year, we still have some mugs left, but I'm sure they'll be going because a lot of people miss getting them. And of course, our annual meeting for the chamber will be the 22nd, and that's going to be at the Elks Theater, and the city will do a presentation there as well, as Lois mentioned. So thank you for doing that for us too, for our particular meeting, and Sherry will be at your meeting. So wonderful. Thanks again for that. Getting ready for our big season with all the arts and craft shows. First one coming up Memorial Day weekend, as per usual. All those applications are on our website at prescott.org for folks to sign up to be a part of that show. And here we go again. So it's been a super year last year, and it's going to be even a super duper year this year. So thank you for all your help for all the tourism events in Arizona's Christmas City, getting all these folks in. Looking forward to the 250. America's 250, and from what I see, and they say that creates about 40,000 people that will look at this particular museum moving event. So that's going to be great. It's going to be a big weekend. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Nick?
Not too many announcements, but Happy New Year, everyone. One of the first things, just want to give you guys a status on the Edison Market. Currently have a couple possible tenants on that. Taco shop, and then another concept from Scottsdale, their Italian sub to go type deli. So did that, but we're still talking to other people. So if you know of any tenants that may want to look at a restaurant space / coffee shop / pretty much anything in the F&B, put them in touch with me, and we can work something out there. As far as our other venues go, we've got our annual 2 for fondue over at the Vino Wine Bar. So we bust out the fondue on special occasions like Valentine's Day. So that is reservations are available online. And then we are also prepping for America 250. We're going to have a big event down at the courtyard. And we're looking for food vendors, and we're looking for musicians. So please reach out to the Grand Highland Hotel if you are interested in any of that. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Nick. Not too much on my end. We were very busy over Christmas, sold out New Year's like everybody else was. And this week is really busy with Potter's House convention in town. And it's off to a very strong New Year. So we're very optimistic for business at the hotels, all the hotels, not just us, but everyone. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. So that's it for me. Ed?
So the Phippen Museum started off the year strong. Our free youth art programming, the first Saturday of the month, is just turned into an excellent event. 25 kids, I think, were here for this last one. We also had a presentation by Jim Turner on 150 years of photography. This week we have a presentation from Roger Naylor, an author and historian, who's doing the celebration of Route 66 because of its 100th anniversary. And then we got a lot of great programming coming up as well for heritage programming. We have a presentation by Drew Desmond, who's doing a new book, Murder and Mayhem in Yavapai County. He'll be doing a book signing coming up here in what's that? January, or that's the other one, but that's coming up January 31st. And then we have a lot of exhibits coming up in the next few months. And Sacred Southwest opens on January 21st. It's Hispanic devotional art. Then we'll do the Arizona Pastel and Artist Association's 10th International Exhibit and Sale on February 28th. The Northern Arizona Watercolor Society will do their juried exhibition starting March 22nd. And then we're doing a really special show featuring our namesake, George Phippen, called Stories from the Saddle. The Art of George Phippen, that begins April 18th. Then the kids come and do their District 2 Congressional Art Competition on April 25th. Then the Miniature Masterpieces Show opens on May 1st. And that's all before we even get to the 52nd Annual Phippen Museum Western Art Show and sale on the Courthouse Plaza. So there's a lot on our plate coming up. So I hope you all come up. Lots to do and see at the Phippen Museum. So come out and see us.
Thank you, Ed. Autumn?
I'm going to be I'm doing some updating and a little remodeling in the store. I'm going to be offering some new services and features that people are asking for and looking for. So I should be done next month, and I can share that with you guys then. It's pretty exciting.
All right, we'll be happy to hear about that. Yeah. All right, anything else from anybody? We've got the future agenda item noted from Michael. We've got that for next time. And anything else? Thank you guys so much, and Happy New Year. And we are adjourned at 12:11, 20 minutes ahead of time. Yay. Thank you guys.